If we can go back in time,
yes.
I'm telling, you know, the 8-year-old self, Trey, you're going to, this is how your life is going to play
it's crazy.
out. What would you have thought?
So that's the first tight end off the board.
McBride, the first Cardinal tight end in 34 years with a 100-yard receiving game.
Trey McBride, touchdown!
Well, he has become one of the most elite tight ends in the National Football League.
That is official. All right, man. We did it. Congrats. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, thank you guys. I would have never believed you, like, you know, you're gonna make more money than Travis Kelce or George Kittle or whatever I would have never believed you, you know.
I need details. Okay, where were you when you found out it was happening? You were gonna sign the deal, and you know, this is life-changing stuff.
Yeah, it was fun. I was actually playing golf. Just hearing the numbers, you know, through the phone call telling me, you know, 4 years, 76, and I was like, holy smokes. I said, you know, when that car girl comes around, you guys get whatever you guys want. I'll pay for it. You guys get as many drinks, as many, you know, whatever you guys want.
Right,
and,
exactly.
You go ahead and throw it back to Trey McBride, and Trey McBride does what he does.
I tell you what, McBride underneath is great. Run after the catch is great. He's got the ability to threaten the defense vertically like we saw right there.
So I also work with a guy named Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah.
And I was just with him this past week. And he's like, wow, what do you got going on this week? And he said, I'm heading to Arizona and interviewing Trey McBride. And he goes, man, that guy's good. I said, he is very good. He goes, I don't know why he doesn't get more attention.
Kind of been overlooked my whole life.
You really feel that way?
Yeah, you know, I feel like we went to a smaller school. I didn't go to the big Alabama, the Clemson, the big school. I went to the Colorado State. No one really knew who I was. I kind of flew under the radar, but I always knew how good I was and what I was capable of doing. So I always just believed in myself, and I knew how good I really could be. And I think this year was the first year that I finally started getting a little bit of recognition and, you know, accolades, whatever, success. Really kind of fired me up and made me go harder. I wanted to prove to everybody that I was better than where I was drafted.
Taken off, But I hear there's an emotion.
Yeah.
There's an emotion that follows the situation in the draft. What is that emotion that I'm hearing from you?
I think it's probably just pride.
God, man, I'm just thrilled to check. Yes, sir.
All
Thank
right.
you so much,
care.
Coach. Excited
Bye.
to see you.
Yep, see it.
And, you know, it was really cool to see that the Cardinals, you know, saw the same value that I had in myself. And I think really they're the only people that need to believe in me, and I'm, you know, all in with the Cardinals, and for them to show their commitment to me and to show what they think of me, and meant a lot to me and my family for sure.
You had a lot going on under one roof with the wildness, the craziness. Walk us through what it was like inside the walls of your home.
Yeah, it was a very fun household. You know, there's 4 boys and 1 girl, so a lot of ruckus, a lot of fights, a lot of...
furniture being broken.
Yeah, a lot of holes in the wall, all of that stuff. You know, my mom had her own drywall guy because we would fight so much. We would put so many holes in the wall that, you know, frequently...
She's like, well, Tim, get back over
Tim,
here.
come on over. We got another hole to fix. And that was very common for us to wrestle, fight, compete and everything. But what really sticks out to me is just how much fun we had together. We always found something to do, whether it was going to the park and playing or shooting paintballs or riding dirt bikes, whatever it was, we always found something to do with our time.
Fort Morgan, Colorado, for anyone that doesn't know, describe the town, describe, you know, where you grew up, and sort of paint a little picture of what this town looks like.
Yeah, Fort Morgan, a small little farm town, like about an hour northeast of Denver, out in the middle of the plains, very country.
My hometown's like, you don't leave my hometown. Like there's one restaurant, like that's how it is. Like you don't leave. If you want to go to like Wendy's, bro, like that's a treat. You're driving 15 minutes. Like that's real. Yes, bro. Like in high school, bro, if you were gonna take a girl out, like you would take her to the Wendy's because it was like 20. I swear, bro.
It's funny, we had a big light in the middle of our property, and 8 o'clock or something, that light would turn on, and whenever that light would turn on, we knew it was time to come home.
Stop it.
So we would come, we would be out running around, riding dirt bikes at our neighbor's house, whatever it was, and when that light came on, we knew it was time to come home, and you know, had a home-cooked meal every night, and it was a lot of fun.
Your parents, what was their mentality for you guys? I mean, obviously hard work is important, being a family unit, all of those kinds of things.
I think that's something that really sticks out to me is the support that they gave us. I can probably count on my hands how many games they missed in my whole, you know, career. With 5 children, they were, you know, one parent would go to this game and one would go to this game. They would be splitting up, going to different sporting events if they were on the same night.
When did it become, you know, sort of evident to you in growing up that, oh, our family looks a little bit different than everybody's, but this is normal for me?
I think, you know, obviously when you really start understanding the real world, like probably 5th, 6th grade, middle school is really when you kind of start understanding what the, you know, normal family, quote unquote, looks like. And to me, it was just normal for us. That's all we knew. We had 2 parents that loved and cared about us, and that's really all that we knew growing up.
Trey, you won the Mackey Award. Congratulations.
I never felt like I was missing something or needed that in my life, because we had 2 parents that cared and loved and supported all of us.
This world doesn't always like to play fair, right? And there was a story, I believe your brother Toby had told about somebody that had tweeted at him or said some negative things. What adversity did you have to deal with?
Early on, you know, obviously some people didn't agree with it, or, you know, didn't want to be your friend, or whatever the case was. But, you know, as we grew up together and you know, we weren't getting away from each other. There was only, you know, so many people in the town, and we were all kind of doing the same stuff, going to the same school. So we were always around each other. So it kind of just became normal, and everyone really just accepted it, and was never really an issue.
I hope you brought another coat. You might be a little cold.
I just keep thinking, like, it didn't matter whatever anybody else said, whether it was in your childhood or whether it was in college or when you got drafted or now, you know, a few years into your professional career, you get rewarded because you're a hard worker, you're a good person, and you can play football.
I think a quote that I live by is, how you do anything is how you do everything. And it's just something that, you know, focusing on the little details and making sure that, you know, whether you're talking to the CEO or you're talking to the janitor or whatever, you want to treat everybody with the same respect.
We need a family picture. We didn't get a family picture yet.
I knew exactly, you know, who I was as a person and what I, you know, wanted to be, and I didn't really let anyone deteriorate me from that, and wanted to just go out and be the best version of myself. And I think, you know, the negativity and the bad things that, you know, maybe happened along the way really kind of helped me become who I am.